Hello, Wildcats. This is Mrs. Norwood and Gumbo for Wildcat Storytime. And the reason why I chose to bring Gumbo with me today is because we're going to read a story called Dog Breath, The Horrible Trouble with Halitosis. And this book is by Dave Pilkey. He's one of my favorite authors. He wrote, if you've heard of Dog Man or the Captain Underpants books, he's the same guy. So, here's Dog Breath. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a big problem. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Halitosis. Must smell. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea. And Hallie jumped up to say hello. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something has to be done about that smelly dog, they said. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. It says, free dog to a good home. The children knew that the only way that they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away, but it didn't. Next, the children took Halitosis to an exciting movie. They hoped that the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. It says. But it didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. Yikes, whispered one burglar. It's a big, mean, scary dog. Ah, don't be silly, whispered the other burglar. That's only a cute little fuzzy puppy. The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. That couldn't hurt a fly, whispered one burglar. Come here, Poochie, Poochie, whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. The next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find two burglars passed out cold on their living room floor. It was a miracle. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Hallie Tosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. Now it says this home protected by dog breath. Because life without Hallie just wouldn't make any sense. The end. So, moral of the story, brush your dog's teeth. Gumbo doesn't have bad breath, but if you don't, it might end up like Hallie. So, have a good day, guys. We miss you. Bye.